Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So, as you know guys, I'm always the bearer of the bad news when it comes to the price increases and price shortages. And only shortly after I already done a video on the future price increases because of the economy, now we're hit with another tax. There's few articles floating about, guys. You've probably seen some of this. They're talking about a grocery tax. This is basically a ploy now to achieve the net zero as usual, and of course ploy to make more money. It's going to cost British consumers 1.4 billion annually extra. So there's few things there. They're sort of talking about, if we're talking about the bottom level scenario, it's going to cost you about £26 a year, okay, for your groceries. Further on, middle range is about 38, and then next one is 56. But of course, those costs are always underestimates. So chances are, guys, we'll end up paying another £100, maybe even £200 a year on our groceries. So this is all comes into the net zero agenda and trying to reduce recycling. So basically, they're going to be charging our companies per ton of the plastic or other packaging they're using. Let's be frank, guys, right? We all know, right, and we all whinge about it, how much wrapping in terms, even our fruits and vegetables in the supermarkets are covered in layers and layers of plastic. You know, there's a plastic tray and there's a plastic bag. You know, the cauliflower sits there in a bag that's then ended up being floating about, you know, in the bottom of the tray. Many of those things are totally unnecessary. So looking at the thing now, right, they're going to be charging a company per ton, and the plastic being, of course, one of the most expensive ones, which will be costing a company £485 per ton, followed by the fiber-based composite at 454 per ton. A paper packaging will include lowest at 215 per ton, and then some other bamboo and hemp will charge at 280 per ton. So this is going to be government impact assessment. So the policy will contribute to inflation by 0.7%. So they're saying that inflation is going to go up by, say, not call it to 1% because of that. Hence, what we're going to be paying extra. But of course, again, it says it's going to be underestimate. Apparently, they've been working on this, and the previous governments were working on this, but they did say it's going to be too costly, so they didn't want to implement this. But nowadays, the current government say, well, actually, yes, this is what we're going to be doing. We don't care about anything else. We need to make extra money. They're talking about 21,000 extra jobs when it comes to the recycling. And also there is a talking about, well, technically, if now companies are responsible for the waste that we produce or they produce, rather than actually the local authorities, though, okay, local authorities not really intending to lower your council tax because of that. So there's a little bit of a thing going on there. You know, technically, if you're not doing the job, if you're now billing it to the manufacturers or the companies, then technically we should get a little bit of discount, but it's not how it's going to go. So basically, the idea is, guys, they are trying to help the companies, they're trying to help the environment by taxing the companies on waste. And again, brings me down to the initial thing, right? They are saying this is going to become in effect from 1st of January, and then there's some other implementations going to be happening from mid 2025. And again, makes you think, well, they want to stop plastic, right? Because this is really genuinely the main thing that they're whinging about. So we can say to ourselves, they can say, well, actually, we're going to ban all of the cars, petrol and diesel cars, by the 2030, and we're going to encourage all the electric cars. So we can do this, but we can't say to the companies, do you know what? Cut the plastic out of the veg, right? Surely we can just say, that's it, ban plastic on fruits and vegetables. They talked about it year on, year out, and there have been some trials, even in the supermarkets, where they were saying, well, let's try and reduce packaging, reduce especially the plastic packaging and fruit and veg. And it started kind of, intentions were good, but then it stopped. So just ban the use of plastics in fruit and veg. That'll be a good start. They're saying they're going to be encouraging more glass. Well, to be fair, many things they've been able to buy in a glass things, the food, especially like milks and things like this, now it's going back to plastic. So they're kind of going back in time. But they were going to encourage people or companies using more glass. To be fair, paper, they're still charging for paper and card packaging quite a lot. So technically, we know that the paper and obviously the cardboard are really well recycled. So technically, why not encourage them by saying, look, if you use this packaging, we're not going to charge you. If you use plastic, you're going to be paying extra. But no, apparently this is not how it goes, and apparently that's not good enough. So nonetheless, guys, the moral of the story is, we covered, the taxation, guys, on the channel many times. And we've been taxed left, right, and centered. And with the greedy supermarkets, greedy companies, they already said yes, the price increases will be happening for different reasons. And now this is on top. So I think last time we've already been told that we expect price increase, well, minimum 3.2%, I believe that's the predicted inflation. But we all know many things gone up as high as 25%. So on the top of that, we're now going to be faced with the extra tax on packaging. So it is a pretty shitty state of affairs, to be fair, because, well, we know, guys, wages don't go up as fast as everything else. And for some reason, again, well, not for some reason, we know the reason why they're really targeting the food industry is being attacked from literally left, right, and center. And it brings us down to the point where we are not going to be able to afford buying the food anymore because there will be tax on everything. If you think how ridiculous, I say the tax on packaging, but of course, yes, they're taxing the companies, but of course the companies are going to be passing on the cost to ourselves. And as we know, guys, with any single thing that they ever did, when the prices are going up, companies are taking it a little bit further and going to be charging extra on the top of what's been charged on them. So there we are, guys. That's a little bit whinge, but I felt it's really important to let you guys know it is, in the end of the day, one of the parts that we do. We are discussing the means of preparing for what is coming, and unfortunately the constant bombardment of price increases is not really a good thing. So again, as usual, my thing to you guys, if you do rely on something that you buy from the supermarkets and you would like to have a little bit more, basically trying to save money by buying things now whilst they are cheaper before the prices go up next year, then I strongly suggest you do so. So there we are, guys. Well, hopefully you enjoy my little ranty video. Please don't forget, thumbs up, subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye.